Hey, my friend, do you hold on to deep hurts and resentment toward others? Do you feel when you're around them that your needs really do not matter? That you are simply invisible? When you're around them, the only way to keep a connection with them is to really go along and do what they wanted to do. Or even worse, do you feel that your very existence is being completely denied by your loved ones? Well, I am very, very sorry, but I'm glad you are here with me. If you're suffering with rejection, I would love to help you by giving you 5 simple and powerful steps that allow you to reclaim your identity, to take back your lost power, and to start taking charge of your life. I would love it if you can hit like this video and subscribe to my channel so I can make more videos like this to help you. I am Yan, a life coach and an author of a #1 bestseller book on Amazon in the area of spirituality. In the last decade, I have been helping many clients to overcome struggles in the area of codependency, anger, rejection, food addiction, low self-worth, and self-esteem. 1, don't take it personally. When you feel rejected, probably the person who's dismissing your point is very self-centered. Most of us go about our day thinking about our own needs and wants. Either the other person has no capacity or do not want, or simply is not capable of considering, thinking about your needs or meeting your needs. The other person is probably struggling with their own hurts, with surviving their own needs and wants. They are simply not in a place to really have any capacity to put you in their picture. So when you feel rejected, try your best to do not take it personally. Think about, are they hurting with anything? Do they have struggles? Are they simply trying to survive in their own needs and wants? That has nothing to do with the fact you are not worthy. You are not being valued. It is a reflection of their own self-centeredness or their selfishness that the other person is being consumed by their own needs and wants. 2, learn to forgive and let go of what happened. That's right. Forgiveness is a skill that simply we really need to learn. It is not something that comes naturally to anyone who got hurt. Let me tell you what forgiveness is and what forgiveness is not. Forgiveness is allowing ourselves to forgive what happened because the person who got hurt, by letting go, by releasing that hurt and resentment, you are setting yourself, your heart, your soul, your mind, the whole being part of you, your body, everything about you, setting yourself free from being held hostage of that horrible deed. Something that you truly do not deserve. That deep hurt that you felt. Setting yourself free from all of that bad stuff that has happened to you. Free from all that toxic that otherwise would have had been trapped inside of you and just eat your soul away day after day, months after months, year after year. blocking God's light and blocking love and miracle and things that are healthy, that things can restore you, that opportunities can help you to reclaim your identity, to unleash your power and your potential that's inside of you from that miracle from happening. So what forgiveness is not? Forgiveness is not justifying their action is right. They still have to pay the consequences of hurting you or the consequences of the damage that they have caused in your life. It's not about letting them off the hook when it comes to consequences. That is not gone. Forgiveness is not about all of a sudden you just let go. You can open your heart. You can trust them again without any conditions. No, the trust is lost. The relationship is broken. What's damaged is damaged. And that's the consequences that the other person still has to face. It's not automatically reconciliation or restoration of what's being broken. Step 3, be authentic. Before we can love others, we ought to learn to love ourselves unconditionally. What are your values? What do you stand behind? What is your truth? What is the most important thing to you? These are your core values. These are your foundations in life, your identity that defines who you are. Other people can't simply reject who we are when we learn to love ourselves unconditionally first. And we stand behind our values. And we have this strong inner foundation in our heart, on our mind, and in our soul that no one can take away from. I'll give you an example. And I value kindness. So many people in this world talk about, oh, you have to tell the truth. Absolutely. I always tell people, I tell the truth, but I wrap it up with love and kindness. Simply sharing my truth with people, sharing those facts that stabs other people emotionally and hurts their self-esteem, simply telling our truth without any kindness and love, that's just being rude. That's just being mean. Step 4, extending unconditional love to the people who rejected you. That's right. You might ask me, they hurt me. Why would I want to love them? You wanted to love them unconditionally because at the end of the day, when you got hurt, deep down, you really want love from that person, and you really want to restore the broken relationship that you have with that person. If you keep hiding in your shell, resenting them, and still holding on to hurt and not letting go, or if you are the kind of person who's very confrontational, you're the bully, and you just feel so angry that you wouldn't forgive them, or someone like me spent so many years just withdrawn from the relationship and just hide and just feel there's so much bitterness inside of me because I can't let go and I don't know how to love them unconditionally because I feel they don't even deserve my love because they hurt me so much. But deep down, I believe you want to release all of that toxin from inside of you, and you want a new beginning. You want reconciliation, and you wanted to restore what's broken into a new relationship that actually works and actually functions, right? You want to be accepted. We all do. So these are the reasons that you want to learn how to love them unconditionally. So the way to do that is, first, you have to be humble. You have to be willing to be flexible. And you have to be willing to love them unconditionally. Means you can't hold on to fears that, what if I tell them the truth? What if I share with them how I truly feel? That they can't handle it. You know what? If they can't really handle it, not telling them truly how you really feel, that you will always be invisible in that relationship. And I don't think that is something you want to keep going. I don't think you want to keep allowing them to hurt you by dismissing you. So conquer your fear of being rejected or fear of abandonment. That is another key issue. So sitting them down, find a good time for yourself when you're not stressed and when you're calm, and ask them what might be a good time that you can talk to them, that they're not stressed, that they're in a peaceful place. Have a private one-on-one conversation with them and tell them you have let go of resenting them, that you have forgiven them. Let them know that you dropped the charges without any conditions, that you wanted to sit down with them to really start something new, something that might work for both of you, a relationship that's actually healthy, that functions well. So sit down with them and express to them of your deepest values and your truth by extending them your love and being kind to them. And tell them how you feel. Even share your pain and your hurt with them. Well, you might say, like I said before, you know what? They don't really care anyway. Why bother? They're not gonna listen. When I sit down with them, they're just gonna lash out, or they start gonna rambling about what's important to them. That might be true, but if you're really being firm and tell them, hey, listen, I really need to talk to you and I need you to listen. And look me in the eyes and hear me out. Don't avoid conflict. Don't try to escape. Being present with them. And share with them who you are, what your values are, and why you are hurt. And if they're not willing to listen, and if you find out that they just want to run away because they have their own hurt and their pain and their shame, they have to deal with, that's fine. Maybe that's not a good time. Maybe you need to wait. Hopefully, you can get your word or two with them in a way that you can be humble and that you can be flexible. Once you share your pain and hurt, listen to them. What are they struggling with? What limiting them from extending love to you, to seeing needs and wants that is beyond their own hurt and their own pain into the needs and want of you, so they can start building a real connection with you instead of making you feel I am just being used to fulfill their needs and their wants. And that is not fair, and that is unfair to you. So if they're ready, share that with them without any conditions, and be ready. They might tell you, I am sorry, I'm just not in a place that I have anything to give it to you because I am in so much stress and pain and hurt myself. If that is the case, then detach emotionally from your needs and wants from them that they're not capable of. Be willing to let go of that and work with what their capability is and go from there. Don't live in an illusion of putting them on a pedestal that they're capable of extending love to you that you feel you deserve, but in reality, they're just not. That is really, really sad. I understand. I've experienced that. But knowing the truth actually set me free. So be willing to detach emotionally that way and be willing to wait and tell them when they are ready that you are happy to set up another meeting with them, and then you can go from there. But in the meantime, you are not going to be present with them in a relationship if it is one way only, that when they're not ready to extend any love to you and they're not willing to listen. Step number 5, the last step. Set boundaries in your new relationship with others. It is so important that you don't fall into your old traps by giving in to other people's unrealistic demands of you. That you start feeling invisible again. In order to do that successfully and have a functioning relationship, given the other person, after they listen to you and they express to you, they're willing to give it a try, to restore the brokenness in your relationship and to start building a new relationship. In order to do that, you have to be able to trust them first. And to build trust, it is something that will only happen over time. Be patient with them. Don't set any unrealistic expectations. Don't set aggressive goals. Baby steps. Restoring something that has been broken in the past, it can really, really take time. The goal is to make progress. The goal is not to have a perfect relationship based on what you want. The goal is, as long as you can restore a relationship to make peace with the other person, is much better than dissolving and giving up on a relationship that you have invested in so much of your love, your time, your energy, and your resources for years. Especially sometimes that can be a mother, a close family member, a friend that you have invested your entire life or half of your life in. You really do not want to see that relationship to completely dissolve. That is very, very devastating. You want those boundaries to be firm enough that the other person does not completely step over them negligently. But there's flexibility that is built in. That the flex is flexible enough that can be bent a little bit, that you might feel a little bit pressure coming onto you, but the pressure is not so great that it sets you back into the place where you were in the past, that you felt invisible, you felt being completely violated again. So only you would know where those boundaries are. And only you are the person can be empowered and can take charge of taking responsibility of drawing those boundaries. Some might be firm, others might be flexible. It all depends on your invisible capacity to give love, your invisible boundaries that's inside of you that you know how much you can handle, and what is too much that will break you, and what is the amount of pressure that someone can put on you, but you're resilient enough that you can bounce back and still feeling loved and cherished, that you're willing to take on that pressure and that responsibility in order to restore that relationship that's been broken, or otherwise you had to toss in the trash and be devastated. So only you would know. So I would like to encourage you. I would like to challenge you to learn setting firm yet flexible boundaries inside of you, and learning to be patient, and learning to build expectations that is not too aggressive, that is something both of you can handle, and to make baby steps, baby progress over time in order to start healing, to restore love for yourself, to restore what's being broken with other people, so that you wouldn't feel rejected again, that you would feel that you're being loved and cherished. I'm so excited for you to walk these 5 steps when you feel rejected by someone. I welcome you to leave your comments and feedback in the comment box below. If you want to watch more videos like this, please hit like and subscribe to my channel. Until then, take care of yourself and your loved ones.